Mavs, welcome back. I am so excited to be with you today. So I have to tell you that the next 3 lessons that we're going to be reading, so we have one today, it's Friday, and then we're going to have next Tuesday and Wednesday. But the next 3 lessons are going to help you to be able to answer questions that you're going to get for the rest of your life. So stay tuned because we're going to be talking about why authors write. And there are 3 reasons, and I want you to be able to, by the end of Wednesday, I want you to be able to say the 3 reasons that authors write are 1, 2, and 3, and why. So we'll turn into those. So we are going to be revisiting 3 books that we have read before. So we're going to read Somo the Rabbit, Tacky the Penguin, and Listen Buddy. So let's begin. All right, go ahead and pull your bow and arrow back. 1, 2. I can understand that the author's purpose is to entertain. Woo! So that is our clue. One of the 3 reasons that authors write books is to entertain, right? They just want someone to read their book and have fun and maybe laugh out loud while they read. So today we're going to explore what are those 3 things that authors do, or what are those things that authors do in order to entertain their audience. So I'm going to close me out and let's look at Listen Buddy. Now I want you to be thinking of this because these are the questions I'm going to ask you to answer out loud after we have shared, okay? So one is, what did you think of this book? What did you think of the book Listen Buddy? And I know we've already read this and referenced it in many lessons, but I will do a quick picture walk so we can refresh our memory because I want you to be able to answer this question. And I want you to think, was this book serious or funny? And why? What made it? What did the author do to make this book serious or funny? All right, let's dig in. So if you remember, this is that beginning. We talk about his dad's big nose, and he's a great sniffer. And his mom's big teeth, and she's a great chewer. And Buddy's huge ears, and he's just not a good listener. So we talk about these funny things, right? His family will ask him to do something. So his heart's in it. He does what he's asked. He just is not listening. And it has these funny illustrations, right, to support some of those listening things. Here's Dad asking him a question. You can see Buddy's like, I don't really know. And then he comes in with a pen after he was asked to come in with a pen, right? So there's lots of silly little things. A slice of bread, said his mother. Will you please bring me a slice of bread? Sure, said Buddy. Buddy's mother said, oh, listen, Buddy. Because what did he bring? He brought in a slice of bread. That silly Buddy. So you can go through and let's just remember how this book ends. He doesn't quite do a very good job of listening to the scruffy varmint either. And they have a little bit of miscommunication. And then finally, Buddy accidentally pours the soup onto the fire. And that's pretty much the last straw for the scruffy varmint. And it doesn't go so well. But look at Buddy. He has become a listener. Oh, he hears that all right. And then he ends by bringing what his parents had asked. So I want us to think, Mavs. Did Buddy, first, what did you think of this book? Did you like it? Did you like Listen Buddy? I want you to use our talking stem here, and I want you to answer this question. Listen Buddy was blank because, what do you think? What's your opinion of the book? For me, I might say, Listen Buddy was funny because little sweet Buddy's trying to do right, but he's just not able to listen and think about focusing on listening. And was this book funny or serious? Well, Maz, I noticed that I was laughing out loud, and hopefully reviewing and remembering parts of this book made you laugh. as well, right? When he brings a hen instead of a pen, and he brings a slice of bread, okay? And then at the end, this poor scruffy varmint, right? He's doing all of these funny things. And this picture here, where this is finally where sweet little buddy, he's like, okay, I hear it loud and clear, got it, and he is out of there. So, Maps, what would that sound like? Listen, buddy was funny, right? Because Buddy did funny things. He did things in the book that would make you laugh. And maybe you even have some connections. Maybe you yourself sometimes find it's hard to listen. And then someone's like, hello. You're like, oh. Maybe you have some personal connections that make you smile too. All right, Maps. Let's go to the next one. This one was a great one too. This one's been a little bit since we read it. So what did you think of this book? And we're going to go ahead and just briefly picture walk through this again. And think about whether Somo the Rabbit is clever enough to be successful in his attempt to win. So we have Somo the Rabbit, and this is a folk tale, trickster tale from West Africa. Kind of in your way. Sorry. Somo the Rabbit. He is not big, he is not strong, but he is very clever. Here he is. Woohoo! I'm super clever. Not very big. Not very strong, but super duper clever. Alright, so then we see Somo wants more than cleverness. He wants wisdom. And then he is told that you must do 3 impossible things. First, bring me the scales of big fish in the sea. Second, bring me the milk of wild cow. And third, bring me the tooth of leopard. And this is his quest. You can remember he's talking to the big fish, right? He's trying to get the scale of and the big fish dances so hard that his scales fell off. Oh my goodness, what is happening here? Big Fish was naked. Oh my goodness, this is a children's book, right? So you maybe were laughing when this big fish danced so fast that his scales fall off. He's like hiding himself at this little things. Okay. And over here, remember, he goes to the cow. Wild cow got angry, so she ran up the tree to kick it down. And she hits the tree. But the palm tree was soft. Her horns got stuck. Quickly, Somo slides down the tree. And away he goes. And he drops a few things of milk. The leopard comes walking over. He slips on the milk. Falls all the way down, and his tooth popped out. Up jumped Somo. He caught that tooth, and quickly he hopped away. So we'll go then to the end. Better run fast, because all of these characters are pretty upset. So, and it ends at the end. Somo is not big. Somo is not strong. But now, Somo has wisdom. And he is very, very fast. So the same question, Maz. Think about the way this book was told and how the author used illustrations and situations that might be serious or funny. So think, Maz, what did you think of this book? I want to hear what you thought. I know what I thought. So I want you to use this for system. Somo the Rabbit is, what is your opinion of this book and why? Let's see. I'll give you a minute to think. You can pause our video, and then I want you to say out loud your opinion of Somo the Rabbit. All right, what you got? Good. Yes, I love that you like the book too. Somo the Rabbit is funny, right? Somo the Rabbit is a good book because funny things happen. Like a fish getting naked, right? And all of the characters at the end chasing after poor little Somo, but fortunately Somo is fast and is full of wisdom. Now I want you to think, Max. If you had a smile on your face like I did, and you laughed out loud at some of the parts in this book, especially the first time you heard it, Was this book funny or serious? And why? What made it this way? Somo the Rabbit is because, why? What do you think? So let's think. The authors write book to entertain us. Well, what makes this book entertainment? Right? When we looked at Listen Buddy, well, it was funny because Buddy misses everything up. He keeps getting things wrong. He brings wash instead of squash, and potatoes instead of tomatoes, and a hen instead of a pig. And what made Zomo the Rabbit entertaining? Well, the fish was naked, right? At the end, he has to run super duper fast in order to get away from these characters that are very mad because they have their milk, their tooth, and their scales, right? Although he doesn't have those anymore. So let's think next, right? The reason that an author writes a book, Maps, is because they have a purpose. And there's 3 purposes that authors have to write books. And the one that we're talking about today begins with a big letter E. And that letter is, and that word is entertain. So the author wrote these 2 books today to entertain you, right? He or she wanted you to laugh at the book, and their purpose is to make it fun for you to read. They want this book to be one of your favorites that you reread over and over, and it's just simply to entertain and enjoy. Let's look at this next book. Who remembers Tacky the Penguin? Do you remember? This was one of the early books we read at the beginning of the year. And what do you think about the author who wrote Tacky the Penguin? Why do you think they wrote Tacky the Penguin? So it might sound something like, I think the author wrote Tacky the Penguin because, why? What do you think? Why don't you go ahead and think out loud? I'm hearing some people say because they wanted to make you laugh. They wanted to, yes, they want to entertain you. They wanted something that would be funny. Yes, guys, that's exactly right. They wrote this book because they wanted to entertain you. They wanted to make you laugh. So what did the author write or include in the book to make you think that? Let's dig in. So you can see, Mavs, and this is what we do, and this is what I'm going to ask you to do today. Because I want you to use a sticky note, just like I have done, so that you can note pages in your book where the author entertained you, where they did specific things. For example, just looking at this picture, this illustration, I know right now the author is trying to entertain me, because what is Tacky wearing? He is wearing a Hawaiian shirt, and he is a penguin who lives in the icy land. So that right now we know is silly, right? I've used another sticky note because there might be more than one thing in our books that are entertaining to us. So right here, let's read this. His companions were named Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect. So these like really proper, lovely names. And then Tacky is, his name was Tacky. Tacky was an odd bird. Tacky was an odd bird. Okay. And right here I had, right, this sticky note here to remind me, because I wrote the word tacky means he's not very well dressed. You're kind of messy if you're tacky. You're not very polite. And so let's say the names of these penguins. You have Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect. So Mavs, do you see what I'm doing? Because this is what I want you guys to do in your reading today. For your follow-up to our mini lesson today, I want you to think about and note where the author did things to make something entertaining and to make you laugh or smile or to make your book enjoyable. So I think the author's purpose was to entertain because they dressed Tacky up in funny clothes. He's eating a sandwich. They say he's an odd bird. They all have their fancy ties. and he has this silly Hawaiian shirt. Okay, so right off the bat, I am able to have evidence to support my thinking that the author's purpose was to entertain. So, and we know that this book was entertaining because Tacky does and says funny things in this book, right? He dresses funny, and his name is funny. So there are many things that the author does in order to, that Helen Lester does, right, our favorite author, that she does in this book to make us laugh and to know that her purpose was really to entertain. So, Mavs, now it is your turn. What is one reason that authors write books? So I want you to ask yourself today, why did the author write this book? If the author wanted to entertain, which is our goal today, we're going to try to search for a book that helps us, that probably is a fiction book, maybe has some funny pictures on the front, or that you have read before. And I want you to use a sticky note to mark a page where the author made the book fun to read. And then when we come back and you're adding your thinking into Seesaw, I want you to have that book to reference so that you can identify the parts of the book that made you laugh. Now, Mavs, this is what we're going to be talking about for the next 2 days. Authors have 3 purposes when they write. And so do you. Right? When you are writing something, you have 3 purposes as well. One reason is to persuade, if you want someone to think the way that you think. Another reason is to teach or inform. And the last reason, and the one that we are starting with today, is to entertain. So you know that the author has tried to entertain you if the author made you laugh, if the author tells you a story, okay? If the author amused you by adding some funny or interesting details to their story. So when you add your thinking to Seesaw today, I want you to identify whether the author entertained you, and I want you to use a sticky note that you have filled out that would support that their purpose was to entertain. All right, Mavs, I am super duper excited to see the book that you read and to hear about your new and important understanding about one of the 3 purposes, which is to entertain. All right, until next time, I'm excited to see you tomorrow. Bye.